my YouTube channel. It's African Queen Grace. So this week we have been in Kisii. We have seen different things that Kisii has to offer, but we are still here. Today at this moment I'm in Nyamira. Hey, nimekuja all this way so that you guys can see the beautiful things that we have. Remember, we have been promoting tourism, we have been looking at the hotspots, we have been seeing what activities people can do, and part of it is that we are promoting our culture. Remember, we are 42 tribes. Is it now 43?
Yes.
And each tribe has got its own culture. So now we are in Kisii. I didn't want to leave this place before I knew, where did the Kisiis come from? How was their culture? Is it the same as the Luos? And I found such a gem right in the middle of Nyamira. They are going to give us a lot of information. We are going to see how a traditional homestead for Kisii looked like, and they're really going to give us loads and loads of information. So guys, remember to subscribe, share this video, spread the good news. We have so much to share with us. With us here, we are going to have a host who is going to tell us his name, and then he's the one who is going to take us around. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Wow, I'm happy to be here. This is Henry's Gardens Culture and Resort.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Nyamira.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited. So maybe if you tell us your name and a little bit about this place.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Robert Nyakugaga. I come from this Nyamira County. I'm a child of this county. I've grown here, and we are at Traditiona Cultural Resource Center in Nyamira County. We are working towards blessing our Kisii culture, and this is reviving our culture which our forefathers used to do. There are many things that we are doing at Traditiona Resort and Culture at Nyamira. We are specifically called Egetinge Cultural Museum.
Wow.
Here we are having many traditional Kisii artifacts, and also we have managed to have a house that is typically Kisii origin. So if you move around here, we are having many things that are in traditional way. We are having many other artifacts within the house, and also set aside as per the Kisii structure. So as you look around this place, from here we have the Esaiga, which was made for
Wait a minute. We are going to go around, guys. But before he goes on, maybe you can tell us, how do people access this place and what is your entry fee?
Okay. People access this place. We are on Kisii Nyamira Road. That is, you reach at Konate Junction, then you come in around 500 meters, then you junction a place called Gesore Junction, then it's around 2 kilometers from the main highway. And also coming to the cultural center, we have some small cover charge of 150 per adult and then 100 per child. Those ones, we charge that one when someone comes and enters the museum or the cultural center.
Yeah.
But moving around the cultural ground is just 100 per adult, then 50 shillings per child.
Very friendly. So guys, I want us to go around as he'll be telling us a little bit more of that specific entity where we'll be. So guys, let's go to the first place. Where is the first place?
We started from Egesa.
That's the traditional, maybe if you remember to translate for us, that's the old man's
old man's
hut. Ah.
Here is a house that was made in a round in a circular form.
So maybe, yeah, we were waiting to show you. Now you can tell us more.
Yeah, this is the hut of the old man, and it was called the Kisii name Egesa. Egesa, this was made a house that was made round, and this is where the old man used to stay. Because in Kisii culture, we had our old men used to have more than one wife. Maybe that's polygamy, so he used to have a central place whereby there was this belief that if a man stays in one woman's house, there was that interest. So the Mzee had to have his own hut whereby every woman will come and share an issue with him. So this house is made round, so the Mzee ever used to stay here.
It's actually a mud house.
Yeah, it's a mud house, and then it is grass thatched in a traditional way. So during those times, this is what was used to to prepare this hut and then make it functional.
Maybe talk about the door. So because this is not our traditional doors. If we close to the other side.
So this is our traditional door because during those times people used to have what you call ekige in a Kisii name. So it was some interweaved trees that were made so that, and then it was smeared by mud so that it will avoid someone to see direct, because this one was made in a manner that it is being rocked from inside. So they had a small rock that is being placed at the middle of that one when already the door has been pushed to close the. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So where next? Which next?
So we go next to the Esaiga, where the boys used to sleep.
Oh, and this is our old man over here. I don't know
Yeah,
if
this
you've
is
seen him.
now our old man here taking polish.
Yeah.
The Karabash.
Great.
Yeah. As we proceed to this place, before Esaiga, there was this middle place here. This is what we call Katrovoma. This is where the animals were being put for protection. So there was no that interference with
Was it here or
No.
in the middle of?
the other
Oh,
side. We have the
behind.
place behind here.
So assuming this would be the entrance.
Yeah, the entrance. So when they say used all the
So what are you saying? Is the entrance here or it's
no,
somewhere
the
else?
entrance on the other side,
Okay.
whereby themselves will be seated outside there, counting sticks one by one. This is the Katroboma, and it is from behind, but the gateway is just down. So it was a Kisii traditional arrangement that when the entrance was nearby the Mzee's house. The Mzee will be counting these animals one by one by counting sticks. So if he knows that he has 200 cattle, he will be counting up to 200 sticks, reaching maybe around 196, and then he realizes that there are 4 sticks remaining and the animals are entered all of them. He will realize that there are other ones that are missing. So the responsibility of the Mzee was to sit outside there every morning and every evening, so to count that all animals are on the same number.
Wow. Maybe to tell the audience that those days they were not, the people were not educated. So they would use simple mathematics form of counting. That's why they're using sticks.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go on to the next hut.
The next hut is just the boys' hut. Boys' hut, this is also was made in a circular way. This is as per the Kisii tradition. So it was prepared for boys to come and sleep at night. Because during that time, so the boys were not allowed to share the same hut with the man, their father or their mother. So as a sign of respect in Kisii culture, they will have their own hut, and it's also prepared the same circular formula. So inside,
What is it called?
the boys' hut or Esaiga.
Esaiga.
Was just for boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go in.
So if you come in, it is also round. It's a cross-thatched house. It's made of mud, and then here we have also a bed where someone can come and spend a night. So it was prepared in a manner that all the doors were facing down as per the Kisii tradition, because the Kisii cultures had that ideology that where the sun comes from, that's where the door faces. But with the time, everything has changed, but we have revived that tradition in a manner that all the doors will face down, as also you saw the door, the old man's hut is also facing the same direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would they light fire here maybe to keep themselves warm?
Yeah, we put fire here. For maybe you see on the top of here, it's also looking dark, whereby this is a sign of fire. And also fire was used as a medicine for grass-thatched houses, because when this grass, as time goes by, they will be having some other parasites, for example, worms. So they will start eating the grass, and then from there the house will start leaking. So by putting fire here, it is a preservation of this grass to stay firm. Yeah.
And the fire also keeps the mosquitoes
The
away, the
mosquitoes
smoke.
away, and also it was a sign of for them to keep on during the night.
So this is the view from the boy's hut.
Yes.
This is what you'd be seeing. The mzee's hut is directly opposite their door, and its door is also facing downwards.
Yeah.
So we go to the mama's hut. So this is a view of the mama's hut in the homestead. It is the largest out of these three that I've seen. It is the biggest, meaning mamas had a lot of power.
Yeah, as much as mama had a lot of power, but there was this, mama's house was big to the extent that everything was kept inside. Firewood, other things, even it was made where visitors come, they enter inside for maybe if there was a celebration, people will just have a meeting from inside. That's why it was made somehow bigger than these other ones.
Okay, so which entrance are we using?
Go through the community door. And this is the flowers that was used in those times. So we are putting them here.
What is the name of the flowers?
This is whereby those ones who come from outside this family will use this door. So visitors, anyone who was used to the community door. So this house is made also in a circular form. So in a circular form, there is a sign of what we see to make the house. So here we have different sections. We have two sections. This house is divided into two sections. One is the kinsman sitting area, which is the side, and also that one is now the in-law sitting area. But we have also restructured this house that we make it to be a cultural, Kisii cultural center or museum, whereby we are restoring Kisii traditional things, the artifacts in another name. So these artifacts were made from different things and they were for different purposes. As I will be giving some explanation concerning these artifacts, if we start from here, here is whereby the Kisiis, these are the weapons or the defense or arsenals that the Kisiis were using during the war. So because of the interaction and the migration of Kisii from one place to another, they never missed to have conflict with other communities. So here we come to a point whereby we are having some Kisii traditional things that were being used during the war or defense or safeguarding themselves from an attack. For example, the first one we have here is called Engaya or a shield, another name, but in Kisii we call it Engaya because it is bigger. It was used to protect them during the war. And this war, maybe there is a conflict between one community and another, one tribe. Then when they made the war, they used this one as a protection shield. So it was for defense mechanism whereby they are protecting themselves against arrows, spears, and sharp objects. So
And the engaya is made out of?
Engaya was made out of the buffalo skin, ngozi ya nyati. So because it knew it had heavy skin, so they dried in the sun, then they tied very well with some sticks here, and then from behind it has a handle whereby someone, when they go to the wall, they will now able to carry it holding like this. So when they hold here, they can safeguard 3 to 5 people in one line. So that was the major purpose of this Engaya of the ship. And then we had what we call Enguva. Enguva was smaller than the Engaya. This was made for also one person when they were going at the war to safeguard themselves from spears, arrows, and other sharp objects or weapons. And here we have Kisii traditional spear called Litimo in the Kisii language. Was also as a form of a weapon that was used for fighting or at the war place. So when people hear there is a crisis of maybe fighting against one tribe or the Kisii fighting with other tribes, they also emerge with these spears as a form of defense. Also we have arrows here, or the They were also used as weapons during that time. Then we have the bow or obota in Kisii language. Then arrows are called chinsara. Then we have the quiver, the arrow quiver. This is where, or in Kisii called omochere. This is where the arrows were being kept. Here we have the big rungu. So this rungu was used by boys. When boys are going for initiation or circumcision, they were being given this rungu as a sign that now they are ready to take the responsibility if there is an attack. Here we have Wegetulero, the trumpet. It was being used during the war period, and it was blown with different sounds to create an alarm that there is something happening somewhere. So this one was a sign of alerting people. Here we have the chavering or orotanga in Kisii. So also for those people who never managed to have the spears, they will use this one because at the end there it is sharpened with the tip. And then we have a moti. A moti was also, if maybe people are caught, maybe they have gone to the war, their hunters who have been taken to captive, they will whip them using a moti if they never wanted to kill anyone. So this is the section of the Kisii arsenals that we have in this region or in this section of our culture center. So
the second,
this is the second part of this house where we have kept our Kisii traditional farmer households. This is what the Omose was using at the farm and at the household. So here, as Kisii community, we are well known as hard-working people in terms of farming. So during our forefathers' time, we never used to have the foods that we have today. So Kisii depended on the two types of food. One is oboli and amaemba, and then there were maybe other like pumpkins and sweet potatoes. But specifically, we are focusing on oboli and amaemba. So as Kisii used to go for farming, because during that time the population was not that big, or was not that many people around. So people had a very large big of land. But this is our traditional chembe that was being used during that time. So these chembes were used for digging the farm. It's called obokombe. If the people have gone to the farm, they prepare now, for example, millet. Then they go to harvest them. They will harvest millet using this basket here. Mama or a woman, she will harvest using this basket. Then she will bring it to Homonyonto here for some 2 to 3 days. Then she will take it to the Oruambo there for drying. So Oruambo was used for drying millet and sorghum, and also for sleeping for young
Oruambo is like a huge tray.
Yeah.
It's like a huge tray.
Yeah, it was made of sticks and smeared with cow dung. So this one, when it is prepared now, millet is dry, then she will bring it here to the grinding section here called ekige. This was also another form of grinding, for grinding millet. The millet, then if maybe mama has millet, then she will be grinding it on top of the Oruambo or the big train. This one, at the end of the day, you will find that now the millet, the seeds are off, and then the chaff beds. Then from there, she will also do winnowing, using now the oroteru here. Oroteru was just for winnowing, so that to remove the other chaff on top of the seeds or the millet. Then from there, she will dry it. Then she will take it to the grinding chamber, whereby we have ensi and orogen. So that's where now she will grind the millet into flour, and then she will take it for cooking. So that is a summary of this section. There are other things, for example, when preparing pusa, when the stones that we used for grinding. Then we have the eke, which was our traditional plate, and other things.
Artifacts. Guys, you need to come here and he will give you an in-depth discussion, in-depth knowledge on the other tools. So this is just a sample. We are sampling what they have so that the rest you come and see for yourself.
Also in this section we have what we call Kisii traditional pots. Here we have Nyakaruga, which was used for cooking gari. Then here we have Siongo for water that are the kitchen. And here we have
These pots are so big.
Yeah, bill was also for storing water. And this one is a kuru, which was also for cooking. So you have also nyangeni, which was being used for cooking vegetables, and many more.
Is it true that the traditional pots were never washed?
No, maybe that is a sentiment. They were big. Okay. So those pots were being washed because you can't prepare ugari ya wimbi today, then you use it the same tomorrow. So they used to put water after cooking, then you find tomorrow that the remains are already removed from the cooking pot.
Great.
So we go to another part, that is what we call entertainment. So entertainment here, as we move around, this is what we call a metobo. Metobo was now the support of this house, and this one is called emiamba. This one is the attic or lirongo, whereby it's also used to keep firewood and even other food. Then here, this small pot is called enyongo, whereby they used to put pusa inside during the
And it used to be the center of the house.
And also that is the king post. This house is connected here. This is the king post, the apex. So it is called Otandra Toto Enguso, or the center of king post. So this is the center point of this house. And if you look at our traditional door, it was also a form of a kige, but the bigger one. So closing at night, it was just simple. It was not that very hard. They ever used to have this piece here, logs, then they will put it like this. They will place them hard, then they are done, because they never used to have those other hinges and other rocks. So this is how they ever used to close their house. And there was no like whole feeling like something will happen. So coming to entertainment here, we have the kabanane, the 8-string instrument, and also we have the ekon or the drum. Was also used during that time for entertainment, for visitors, or during the celebration. Also we have this section whereby the in-laws will come and sit. Here we have egetono. It was used by our forefathers for preparation. Maybe there's someone who is sick, they used to prepare some Kisii traditional herbs, so they put it inside, then someone will take it from there. This is our Kisii traditional sledge, is called ekebu. Ekebu was very necessary if someone has been hurt, maybe there was no coming out of blood, so they would pierce his skin and use it for sucking blood. And that picture there shows how our Kisiis ever used to do head surgery or surgery in some parts of the body. So surgery or operation never started yesterday. It happened many years ago. Here is our attires, whereby we have egetinga. Egetinga is what differentiates we Kisiis and the other tribes in this country. That's why always Abagusi we are being called Mwanyagetinga. So this one was put on by a married lady already who has been booked and then was now being taken to be a wife of someone. So it was prepared from, these are now the Kisii traditional attires, where the mzee was putting what we call umwambaro, and then we had what we call egbisenas. So this was being used by our mama. When mama comes to give another issue, maybe she has an issue to them, say she will come with a small calabash or a word. Okay, celebration.
Yes.
So this is when the mama comes to sit with the mzee. Maybe there's an issue, any grievances, she will come. Then the mzee will tap her shoulder. Then he will allow her to sit. Then she will
speak.
And speak. Then the mzee will be listening. So mama will come with something to entice the mzee, either milk or something like busa. So this egetinga was worn by women. And then as a
Where
sign,
was it worn?
on the legs, both legs. So down here at the ankle.
Oh, at the
as
ankle.
a sign that now no one will ever come to talk to this woman. She's already taken. During that Kisii tradition, now the woman puts that one and the man will be putting this cap. What we call ekiore. Ekiore now, it was worn by the man who is now married, or during that Kisii tradition as a sign. This one was acted as a traditional ring, and also for the gentleman it was this one, so as a sign that the man is already married. And here it is them say all the papa taking pusa being entertained by the wife. So with the sign of respect, them say is also taking his pusa using the Kisii traditional straw. So in this section, now they have used that door. The owner of the house, they use this one called monmomori. This is also the door going inside. So as we talked there that now the grinding or everything has been done, then we have what we call the grinding chamber, au sumi. Sumi is a Kisii traditional grinding area. This is where the mama will come and grind what we call, this is where mama will come and grind the wimbi and the millet. So where you see this photo, mama, she's busy preparing unga or flour, then she's grinding. This one is what we call ensio. Ensio was used for grinding millet at the top of orogena. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, she can explain or she can just grind.
Yeah, this is now how the grinding was being done. This is now grinding millet flour.
And this is what they would do every day before they cook a meal.
Every day, because we never had some posho meals during that time. So our Kisii tradition of posho meal was ensio and orogena. So the two grinding stones.
Maybe show them how the millet looks like, the seeds.
So this is the Kisii traditional millet.
And that millet is what people now use for porridge nowadays.
For porridge, and even we also have the Kisii traditional food called obokumabwabori.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So when we go inside here,
so where are we going to next? The kitchen?
So we are going to the kitchen and also the sleeping area. Here as we enter, this is what we call the attic of the ceiling store. This is the ladder that was used going up here. That's where there was a storage of firewood, storage of food like koboli or millet and amaemba. And also here we have what we call irungu. Irungu, this is where the firewood was being kept. And here, this area, when the mama she was busy cooking, so the firewood want to be here as easy accessibility. So you see here, we have some firewood that we use in this area, as also we cook the Kisii traditional food. So here is what we call endot. Endot is in Kisii, or the security tower. If there was something happens at night, then someone can check through this area. And also here we have some Kisii traditional utensils. So because we never had more, they never used to have this modern ones utensils that we have. These are what we call carabashes. Carabashes were being used for taking vegetables as a serving dish, and also polish, even taking pusa. As you see in this calabash here, there is what we call ememera. Ememera, this is the Kisii traditional used for preparing pusa. So when it is grinded at ensio and orogena, they just grind it and then they mix with the busa or chinkara, which has already been fermented. Then they prepare busa. So this one was also one of the Kisii traditional used for preparing pusa even at this time. So these are our carabasses. This is our serving dish. So we can use it for polish, said, and also we can use it for pusa and also as a serving dish for vegetables. So for it to balance, because you cannot put it so that it balances, we use this one. This one is engata. When you put it like this, it just balances. If you put maybe polish here, then you put this engata here, then it balances for you to you can use it now. When you can sip once and then you put it on top, then it can be able to balance on its own. Not just so Kisiis were very clever on how to use these calabashes, because they knew that you can't put it because of its lack of stability. So if there was something inside, then it would
To
pour out.
spill, yeah.
Yeah. So here is what we call the bed, or the egetiti. Egetiti is where now our Kisii traditional bed. So it was just an animal skin that was put here, and then the mama can sleep on top, and as also fire is there. So at night they will read fire as a sign of putting more warmth. So there was nothing like having maybe 6x6 bed, but it was, they raised it up. Here is just this one soil. That is soil that is also made here. Then they smear it well. Then every time they smear it, but someone can sleep here until morning. So there was not something big or having a difference that creating another bed, because beds were not used during our period, or there was no that knowledge. Here is now the fireplace or riko. This is where now the position where the mama will be sitting when she's cooking. And this is the utensil rack or obotindiar. Obotindiar here, carabashes, utensils, oroteru was now our tray, carrying carabashes. And also we have eke here. This eke was used for carrying what we call ugaria wimbi. So ugaria wimbi, when it is cooked, mama will just put it in a eke, and then this is the reed on top, and then take it maybe to visitors or to the museum. So here is where our traditional utensils place. So those are the Kisii types of webia. These were used for food, and also other even putting ugaria wimbi inside. So they were prepared from what we call millet stalks. Those after they have harvested millet from the farm, the remaining ones they were used to make those here. So and obotindiar here, these carabashes are here, and also we have some cups here. And the other nyungu there is what we call the Kisii traditional nyungu, or the pot, also for pusa. So here we prepare pusa, which is also tradition for enhance our culture. So here we have a vitono egetega. Egetega just for cooking. When something is inside here, they put it. So we never used to have sufurias or saucepans, so they use this one. So they cover it like this, and something boils from inside. Here is now what we call geta. Geta, this is where the mzee never used to sit. So no child was sitting here during that time. As a sign of respect, that's why the mzee had to sit here with a Kisii traditional stool. And this stool had 4 legs, and also for the mama had 3 legs. Here is also where we used to have, this is the word for milk, and also we put milk here for fermentation, as they use all these logs you see here. Sagna is whereby they used to keep us Kisii traditional food, for those smoked food, like if there is meat that has remained, maybe there were visitors, they killed the cow, then now the remaining one will be kept here for drying and for future use. So that's why they call sagna. Here this side, so as you look here, we have pots as a sign we are embracing our Kisii culture. We are working hard towards enhancing our Kisii traditional culture. Here we have the pot that has some other stuffs inside.
Water for drinking.
Yeah, water for drinking. Here we have this one is a ton for. So
and the pots would be put on top of
ngata for balancing.
Yeah.
And this one is a tono or a guru for carrying pusa. So for during visitors or.
So the partition would just be wood panels.
Yeah, it was just for wood panels. There's nothing like putting iron sheets or something like that. So this is how in general it looks like. So inside here is what we call irongo. So it was also prepared like this way. It was if something can be done, fire goods. It has also this section, as we said, entry point to the upper attic. So in a summary form, this is how this house is structured in different sections. And as we go outside, something that we can also talk about.
I'm so impressed that they had an attic those days.
Yeah.
People think ghorofa zimeanza leo.
Yeah, ghorofa zimeanza
kitambo.
Yeah. So this is what we call the sheep and goat pen or agora. all goats and sheep, they were being kept here at the doorstep. So it is called a gora. It was also smeared well, and they said now everything like these goats will be kept here the whole night, and then they will be taken out tomorrow, going to the field to graze or to look for food. So at this place, this is how this is.
It's a small door. It's not a normal door as the ones you've seen.
Yeah,
it's a very small door.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it would just it would deter, you know, thieves from coming to enter inside there.
Yeah, and it was also at the main doors. It was also next to the main door. Yes. Yes, now we are heading to the granary. Before there is what we call kibara. Kibara is just a toilet. So this is what we call Kisii traditional tissue. Morocco was used during that time because people never had this
the normal tissue paper.
No. This is what was used for people when they go to the latrines. They used one to wipe themselves. So on that section is where now we have a kiage. Kiage was used for storage for maize, but later on maize came around 1900 by the Portuguese. But previously they used to store food like koboli and other things before it is grinded and kept to the inner house.
You know, this mama's house is very strategic. You can see the window.
Yeah,
they could actually check out and see what is going on in the granary.
So that window was called security tower.
Yeah.
So if a thief comes at night to steal maybe something from the store, then they will spot it directly from the inner house.
Some granaries are high, some are low. Is there a standard, or you just do it according to what someone
wants? Just according to someone you decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is now our kitchen garden. Our kitchen garden is whereby all the Kisii indigenous vegetables. So we have saga, we have resource. We have these other germinating vegetables like mboga. This is whereby the mama will come and pick all the vegetables from here as she takes to the inner room for cooking. For example, you can see the mboga there, then chinsaga, but these others have already germinated. So here is mboga, ototo, esaro. These are Kisii traditional skuma wiki of that time. So you can call this esaro. Esaro is now the skuma wiki of during that time, whereby this was preferred the best during that time. So skumas have emerged these days, but this is now the traditional one, esaro. Yeah.
Are we going to see the botanical garden?
Once again, thank you for this time. This is another level of Henry Garden Resort. So here where we are, this is what we call the Arboretum. Arboretum is where we have planted all the Kisii indigenous trees. All these trees you see here, they have their names, they have their healing powers, and what they were being used for during the many ages ago and centuries. So whatever we have planted here, these are what we call Kisii indigenous trees, whereby we have different types of trees with different names, and they are what the diseases they were being used for healing. As you see, there are those ones that are big, and there are those ones that are small or shrubs. So, and we have petitioned them in several sections. This one for easy moving up and down, because we never wanted to have that random movement, because there are some trees that are so fragile. If they are being tied, they can be affected. Here now, as you enjoy looking around, you will just know the names and even some other powers they used to have for healing and the diseases. For example, if you can look at this one, it's called Romobeno. It was also used during a time for healing evil eyes. When there is evil eyes, or in Kisii we call it eviriria, they use to rub it on a child, and then it just removes that evil eyes. And then we have that one, it's called Romoterere. It was also an indigenous tree during our time, but we have put it here as a sign of remembrance that what the Kisiis were using for it, and the disease that were used for, and also some ceremonials. As also we proceed, here is like we call it Omonyankene. Omonyankene was used to heal scabies and also having some stomach ache or stomach crumbles. So as we go around, I can give this opportunity to my brother Kenneth also to give other more information.
So let us meet Kennedy.
Yes, welcome.
How are you?
Fine, thank you, madam.
We are glad to be here.
Welcome.
So maybe you can take us through the rest of the garden.
Now it is a long history to plant this garden here because we had our people forgotten our custom of the culture which had been there before. Therefore, as we went around, we decided to plant this garden here to be a reminder of our school to our current generation. Also, it was important for us as we focus the rampant diseases nowadays, whereby most of the diseases are being triggered by this and these brands. That's why we focus to bring our people back to the culture. Our people used to stay. You remember, our people never used to go to hospitals. If it's malaria, to live. If it is headache, that's why we decided to go back to take our people back to
So could you sample for us some of the indigenous and what they are treating?
For example, this is a colossal plant. This one and this one. Normally for stomach ache, it is very important. You just pan, you mix with other plants. Okay.
So how many trees do you have here in total?
At the moment we have about 200.
200.
And we are on. The list is wrong, but we are on to bring more.
Okay.
If I feel we go around, you can see one tree there.
Okay, lead the way. We are following you.
For example, this is Omora, which is very important for stomach problems. And normally this one you can go around the other of this and you will never find these plants. That's why we saw it better to bring it here so that it will assist our people on this side. Also, to focus on this power, this name Yomunyangadet. This one. It is a very important tree for these venereal diseases, stomach problems, and the other general diseases. Also, when you come here, this is almost beyond. It is fruit. You can take and eat it. Also, for months of children, it's very important.
Okay.
When you mix with other plants. Also, when you come here, you remember there's a time when there's a very strong starvation there before, and this was in 1960s, it was even food. Therefore it is food and it is medicine for cancers, it can be used with other plants.
Okay. Wow, this is a lot of information. This garden is so vast, over 200 trees which have herbs in them. So please come and learn more. You can bring students so that they learn these indigenous trees, or if you are a corporate that deals with medicinal purposes, you can also come and learn more about these herbs. So from us is thank you. Make sure you learn one or two things. Guys, you've seen this homestead. We have learned a lot about the Kisii, things that I didn't know, but there are little similarities between Kisii and Luo. We are so glad for them taking time to actually come up with such an investment, because it's going to teach our children, our children's children to know more about their cultures. So thank you so much for always coming back. Remember, it's African Queen Grace. Share with your friends. Spread the word. There are good things and there are ways that we can learn more about our culture. So from me, here is just to say thank you and bye.